Are we here? Are we live? Cheers. Wow. Good old OBS. It's okay. It wasn't the first disaster that happened this morning. It's set the standard for today's stream, I think. It's gonna be a rough stream. Hi everyone. Yep, solid start. Oh, okay. I need some caffeine and some sleep and a holiday. Much as we can all be said to be alive. Amos! Hey mate, how are you? Shouldn't you be working? Hi everyone. Sorry. It's been a rough morning and OBS just takes the cake. Beautiful. It's been behaving itself for the last few streams actually. Quite well. I'm quite surprised, but yeah. I clicked start streaming and as soon as it started, OBS died. Home with the flu. Oh no, man flu. I spent 2 days waiting for DHL last few days. They finally arrived yesterday. Anyway, so how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a better day than I'm having so far. But my day could get better, so that's okay. OBS often breaks stream. Yes. Obligatory break stream. I had a latte, no more for now. Yeah, this is still my first coffee this morning. I think I'm going to need a few. OBS always does silly things, especially on the Mac. G'day Greg. Just trying easy EDA instead of my usual dip trace while I'm watching. Cool. Easy EDA is great. Like it really is for a web tool and with the integration into LCSC and JLC PCB. Like I've been tempted a couple of times. Only a couple. It's got some gotchas, like you got to be careful about. Sometimes the DRC doesn't find things like you can have a trace through a copper fill, like as in incorrectly and stuff. And you got to be very careful. But once you work out the nuances of it, I think it's actually probably a really good tool. I'm tempted because of the panelizing in it. It's got some pretty cool panelizing options where Eagle's got shit panelizing tools, but there's some stuff coming which I can't really spill the beans on. I've not seen it, I don't have it, but I've been chatting with Matt from Autodesk, and there's some stuff coming, some very interesting stuff coming. But yes, so yeah, do it. Easy EDA is great. It's got to be better. I mean, nothing against dip trace, but that's pretty old now. It's got to be better than dip trace. Is the Easy EDA desktop client okay? I don't know. I'd be using their web tool because they update it quite a lot, I think. Okay, let's just quickly say hi to everyone in the chat. I'm just going to scroll back in my view, which you can't see in your view. That's okay. So, hey James. Hey Bruce. G'day Adam. Hey Alex. How was SuperCon, Alex? I don't think I didn't see you last few weeks. I hope you had a great time at SuperCon. Good morning, Paul. Hey, Hojad. Morning, Andy. Azzy, of course. Hello, Azzy. Ooh, Unexpected Maker's in the chat. Hello, Unexpected Maker. Good morning, Helmet. Already said hello. Sorry, scrolling. Hey, Pip Basili. God, my eyes are going blurry. Sorry, there was a lot of chat before. Hey, Andy Mouse. Good morning. And Amos I said hi to already. And James. Hey, James. How are you? Hey, Andrew. I got to remember to say surnames of people when I've said, like, if there's multiple Andys. Hey, Johnny. Good morning. Hey, Michael. And Greg, I said hi. Hey, Jay. Good morning. Good morning, Embedded Hobbyist. And Jim F. And James Hauser. Guess we've already got two Jameses now. Hey, Stephen Mott. I'm going to call you MR because I don't know how to pronounce MRUNAL. Good morning. Hey, Dustin. Is the client, Dustin, of Easy EDA, is that just a wrapper for the web tool? Because if it is, then that should get updates all the time as well, right? Hey, Paul, the curtains, good morning. Is it morning? Yes, it is. It's 7:30 in the morning in Australia. Supercon was great. Sadly, I got sick after returning. Yeah, everyone does. It's the conference pox that you get. I used to get that all the time. Like when I used to go for gaming conferences, it was always the week or two after you get sick. It's just being crammed in. It's being run down and then being crammed in aeroplanes where they circulate germs and stuff. Andrew, looks like an Electron app. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I hope it's just a wrapper, because it would be a waste of time making a different app. So just a wrapper would be good. When I first started looking at Easy EDA way ago, there was no desktop app at the time, and it was really clunky. It didn't even work properly at all in Safari, and yeah, but it's come a long way, I think. Yeah, it's super early in the morning, as in late in India and Pakistan. I've got some people, or someone, at least one person I think from Pakistan that comes on the stream. Yeah, it's thank you heaps for being up at 2 o'clock in the morning watching my stream, but that's crazy. You should really get some sleep instead. Tesla Client says, quote, it has the same features as the online version and has more design areas. We have made a lot of improvements. Interesting. I stayed in the US for an extra week, so would not see. So it's not the conference's fault. It's just being in America for too long. I don't understand that, yeah. Hey, DC Allen, good morning. Easy EDA does work in Safari, although it's been a while since I've used it. Well, it does. Like I've had projects shared with me that I could have a look at schematics and stuff, and I managed to open them okay in Safari. So it does. I don't know how good the support is. I mean, Safari's often on the bottom of everyone's radars, unfortunately. Hey, Michael. Long phone call. I hope it was a good phone call. Just came from a friend's reception and just thought of checking my phone. Cool. Well, hi. Welcome. So, I don't know if it's going to be a long stream today, or it could like fizzle very quickly, but I have, obviously, as you all know with the thumbnail, I've got my new boards. Boards. And when I say boards, not just because I had to order 5, but boards because I made 2 designs. So what I want to do before we jump into the VNA, actually, no, I'm going to do 2 things. I need to, my VNA is currently plugged in, but it needs to warm up. Remember, for those of you that caught my stream a couple of weeks ago, the VNA, so I need to recalibrate. You're supposed to calibrate before every session, but I need to recalibrate anyway because it was brought up to me a couple of weeks ago that obviously I was calibrating with my little terminators here, which is a very short length, but then I was using these long coax cables for my testing, and so obviously my transmission line was wrong compared to my calibration, which is going to give me some obviously off results. So I got one of these in my mail bags. I can't really use it to do testing with. It's a terrible coated, plasticky like coated sleeve. It's really crap, but it's almost the identical length, pretty close to my current test leads. So I need to recalibrate this, putting this on like this, and then do my 3 steps of calibration. Right, and I need to do that, but I need to let the VNA warm up first. They recommend 15 to 20 minutes. It's been on for about 15 minutes, and I can feel it starting to get warm. So I'm just going to let it sit for another 10 minutes or so before I calibrate. I'll do the calibrate pass again like I did last time, so you'll all get to see that. It's not overly exciting, but it's a process I have to do. And then, yes, I've got 2 boards to do. So, but while we're waiting, I'll show you what I did with the boards. But before that, my lighting here is all a bit weird today. I'm very sorry. So my RGB LEDs fell off my wall. So I've got, hard to explain. So to my right, which is, I'm facing the wrong way, right? Yeah, whatever. Where my shelves are on the wall. You know what? Sorry guys, don't make anyone sick. I'm going to try to not make anyone sick. So as everyone can see, this is what I'm looking at, right? Here's my shelves, my wall. That's where my camera is, which is looking down. And along this wall underneath here, under the shelf, I've got RGB LEDs, which I set with Bluetooth to control my lighting for under my camera. But they keep falling off. The stickiness stuff on them is just, I don't know. It's worn out. I've reattached new 3M sticky stuff. It lasts about a month and then it falls down. And as the weather gets warmer, it's crap. But so it's on the floor right now, and the problem is every time I want to stick it back on, I have to pull all my stuff off my desk to get to the corner, which is really annoying. So what I got is, I want to show you this. I haven't tried it yet because I obviously need to get it off the floor. But I thought I needed something to stick it on with, but that can really stick over it. And so I found this. So we can get a bit closer. It's 3M duct tape. So like normal, duct tape or, gaffer tape. But it's transparent. Well, it's as transparent as like transparent PLA is. If it was really transparent, we wouldn't be able to see it, right? It'd be invisible. But anyway, it's transparent. It's like a mesh. And so what I thought of doing was sticking the strip back up and then sticking this over the strip, right? Here is some of my strip. So if I stick it over it, so if that's the underneath of my shelf, it'll give it a nice big thick thing, and hopefully the light will still come through. I don't know how much it's going to diffuse the light. I've not even opened it yet. Do you have a software-defined radio dongle that can reach 2 to 4 megahertz? Then you could look at the signal coming from your Tiny Pico RF. 2 to 4 megahertz? You mean gigahertz? The RF on the Tiny Pico, the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is gigahertz, 2.45. And yes, that's what this is. Well, it's not a software-defined radio. It's a VNA. That's exactly what it's designed to do. Jim? Go to Bunnings and get some audio body tape. That stuff is insanely strong. Audio body tape. Or auto body. God, sorry, my chat's really far away. You can see me leaning in. Okay, well, I'm going to try this first. So this is what it looks like. It's actually... So the question is, how much is it going to diffuse the light? Like, I'm better off having some light than no light. Like right now it's on the floor. But I was really curious because this is like really... So can you see what it is? It's kind of... It's tape but with meshing. Hope you can see that. And so the idea is if it goes the whole length, or maybe not the whole length, just every once in a while, to stick it down like this, plus the tape underneath it, right, to stick it, then it might be enough to just hold it there for a long period of time. But I was curious to know how much it'll diffuse it, but I can't light this one up, so I don't know. I'll have to try it, but that's what the tape is. So I got it about 3 weeks ago, but I just haven't done anything with it yet. But now it's open, so I will. Okay, there you go. I'm just wasting time while the VNA warms up. So let's go over to... This is my capture for VNA, just waiting. But I'm going to show you the 2 board designs that I made, that I'm testing. Make sure you give the surface a clean with IPA. Yeah, I did that. It's not that. It's just the gluey stuff. It's just it's a known issue. These are LifeX strips, and it's a known issue. Why not printing some mounting brackets for LED strips? Screw them into the shelf. Because I don't want to see mounting brackets. Firstly, I don't want to screw anything to the shelf. You know me and attaching things. And I don't want to see the brackets. Like I don't want to even see that the strip is there. Does that make sense? it's a very clean, white, clean look here. And so, yeah, I don't want to... I'd have to put a lot of mounting things because it'd sag. Not really what I do. Morning, Mike. Morning, David. Try sanding. I can't sand these. It's a melamine surface. I don't really want to wreck. Again, I don't want to wreck the shelves if I can get away with it. I think the duct. Yeah, nail it on. No, just screw it in. I think this tape might work. It can't be any worse than what I've got right now. Have you considered soldering 50 ohm resistor for load and a 0 ohm resistor for short pigtail for calibration? That way the length would be exact. I have thought about that, and I actually bought, and this is what arrived yesterday. I mentioned at the start of the stream I was waiting for DHL. I've got an order from LCSC, and inside here are 50 ohm 0402 resistors. So I actually have 50 ohm resistors now, which I didn't have, and I wasn't sure they were going to arrive for the stream or not. So I could do that. But I don't want to keep reworking these boards right now while I'm testing. So this is just an experiment to make sure that the ground plane, or the removal of the ground plane, has fixed the crap results I was getting. Does that make sense? When it comes to, my plan today is not to actually fine-tune match the network. It's just to make sure that I can match the network. Yeah, I mean, the board might not even be this might not even be the final design. Hello, Ed. Duh, just trim around the lights. What, so make holes in the tape so the lights... Yeah, that seems like a lot of work. Anyway, router channel and epoxy the strips in. No, I don't like things permanent, you know that. We use no nails and carpet tape to stick things up. Plaster comes off the wall long before the signs do. Sure, I don't like things too permanent. I really don't. Anyway, I want to show you what I've done with this board. Because I've got two designs for the board. And I'm just getting it now. Just hold on one second. Use a glue gun. Because I don't want to glue... I have an issue with permanency. I've mentioned this quite a few times. It took me a very long time to talk myself into actually attaching shelves to the wall. I don't like... It's a long story. Okay, so let's switch over. Let's have a look. So let me just turn this off for the moment so you can see. So two designs I'm going to test today. Yes, I meant, but your VNA is already doing that job. No worries, Jim. So this one is, let me just do a rat's nest. It's just the top layer. Actually, I'll show you from the manufacturing view. I think it'll be easier to see. So this is just a standard configuration, kind of like what we worked on a few streams ago. Please tell us your long story someday. We spoke about this quite a few times on my streams, I think. I'm just, I don't know. In this space here in my office, I just don't like doing permanent changes. Because I like mixing things up. Like, I spend a lot of time in here. We've lived in this house now for 12 years, and I've spent 12 years of my life in this office with doing my work, whatever work I'm doing, whether I was doing games or hardware. And I'm just going to switch back to me just while we're talking about this. I'll just do it quickly. And so, because I spend so much time in here, I like quite often to mix up the room, to change it all, because, like, a change is as good as a holiday. I guess I like having things not attached so I can rearrange. Does that make sense? No wonder I keep losing things. Yeah, that's 12 years of... It's actually pretty good in here considering it's been 12 years. So, I mean, that's why it took me so long to move all my old game, like my consoles and stuff, out of here. Like, I don't know, I just... Yeah. It's hard to explain. Like, I want the... Like, once something's permanently attached, it's permanently attached. Hot glue is not permanent. Hey, Dave. I know it's not permanent, but it's also messy, and yeah. I could hot glue. I don't want to. I use these for my workspace, under the shelf desk. What are these? There are lots of options for lights for under desks and stuff, but I like my RGB lights because I also so yeah, Greg just linked to this. Yeah, I don't want stuff like this under my light, for my work area. So I'll, like if I'm sitting here coding, or sometimes I'm just working on boards, like I'll just have my RGB lights cycling. It's definitely got to be RGB for me, because I can change the mood in the room. You know what I mean? Anyway, okay. Let's move on. So this board, this is very much like what we came up with on my last stream, but I made some changes still. It's going to make it bigger. I made the traces through the matching network much thicker to drop the resistance between them, to have it affect the impedance less. I did much better stitching around the ground plane, as you can see, along the as much as I could. So there's no ground at all under the antenna on any layer, and it's stitched much better than it was before. And there's some other changes I made to it as well. I thickened up a lot of the power lines and stuff, but so that's what I got built. That's one design. I'm gonna have to go back and check what I've missed in the chat in a minute. And then there's another design that I got done, which let me just load up. So there are two boards I'm going to test today. This is the other design. Oop, hang on. Let me just fill it. There we go. So this one has no matching network. So I rearranged the end of the board. I took the matching network off, and I got a stitched ground as far as I could on the transmission line, and had the transmission line going underneath into the antenna like it's supposed to go from reference. And so I want to see how much difference there is between having a matching network and having no matching network. And to use the board that's got a matching network pads on it, but not put the matching network on, just putting a 0R resistor, isn't the same as what we see here, because there's still a whole lot of pads and traces and extra length, and so that's going to affect the resistance or the impedance on the trace. So it wouldn't ever really tell me if it needs a matching network or not. The only way to really know is to do something like this. So I got two boards made, and what I did though, just to obviously, you know, after this whole wastage video, if I just go to here, I got them done just with Hassel, which is probably going to affect the characteristics a little bit. Right, so I built two boards of each, but I got it done with Hassel, so they were cheap, as cheap as I could get them. Yeah, and they're the two versions. They almost look the same when you look at them this way. Obviously the antenna is sticking just further across on this one. I could have brought it further out, but it meant making the trace, the feed line longer, and I wanted to keep that as short as possible. So they're the two different versions I'm going to test today. Okay, what did I miss in the chat? Okay, if I missed something, just at me again and ask me again. Hey Ian, good morning. If I missed anyone, hey BLR Rocket Technologies, what did you miss? Not a lot yet. Two rules to live by: hot glue all the things, and if hot glue doesn't do it, liquid nails. Haha. Hey Martend, Sander's not a typical maker. He is precise with some extra personal features who come to play in his work. Just watch some videos and streams. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not a typical maker. I'm precise with some extra personal features. Does that say that I'm quirky? I don't know what that is. I think that's a compliment. Thank you, Martin. What colour is anger? Red. Red and orange. And I will quite often set my colours to red and orange when I'm angry or frustrated. There are actual LED strips mounting channels that have a nice flat back that takes tape well. I have seen some channel mounting things that you can stick and then feed the LED strips into, but I don't know. I'm gonna try this tape. I've already bought it, so I might as well try it. Hey Tabletronics, good morning. If I use an ESP32 and control lighting using relays, but even I have to use some pins to detect the state of the manual SP switch so that I can turn it with two-way both from the phone as well as the not sure about that question. Single pole switch, how many pins or relays will I be able to use from the... It depends on which ESP32. Depends on which board you're talking about. You know, because the obviously something that's got a room 32 on it's got more pins, and I've broken out on the Tiny Pico, for instance. But there's stacks of pins. Tiny Pico's got 14 pins. The standard ESP32, I think, has got 18 or 19 free pins that you can use as input-output. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, you got stacks of pins. Sounds like you wouldn't run out. The look of the tape, of that tape I showed before, I won't see it because it's underneath. So, you know, unless I've got my head under looking up, yeah, I don't think I'd see it. So anyway, they're the two different boards I'm going to test today. So VNA time. Let's do some, actually, go to here. We'll do some calibrating, shall we? Let me turn the cam link back on so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Not really. Okay, so I need to do 3 steps of calibration. And so if I load up, if I go calibrate, click on the calibrate button. Here it is. And so I need to do the open first. So got to find open. This one is open. Oh no. Okay, so fail already. Fail already. I need a male to female. Ah. I need a male to female, not male to male. And I don't have a male to female. And I don't have an adapter. I've got some adapters on order. Okay, well there you go. I'm an idiot. Fail already. So I can't use this. Damn. Oh, don't even know what I was thinking. I can't use this. Of course I need a male to female, don't I? Idiot. I bet you my order of my adapters will arrive this afternoon. Can you... You guys have any community WhatsApp group? Don't use WhatsApp, sorry. I don't mean to be sexist. Okay, I guess we're going to have to... I'm going to have to solder a 50 ohm and an open. I can't... On a board, I have to get rid of the antenna to do it. Okay, so it looks like today I'm not going to be able to calibrate at a specific length. Trying to think what I've got here. So I was going to make a PCB, a test board like that I could stick. Oh, damn. Let me think. So I'd have to remove the antenna off here. I'd have to do a 50 ohm resistor, which is fine. I'd have to do an open, which is 0 ohm, which is fine. I'd have to do a short. I'm gonna have to rework all of this and not break the antenna cable off. You know what we're gonna do right now? Right now, before we do anything else, I'm just gonna see from my previous calibration what results I get on these. Last time you did the recalibration, so how come you don't have the stuff to do it now? Because last time I did the calibration, I calibrated at the short length, but then did my testing at the long length, and I was advised that that was a bad idea. I needed to calibrate at the same length that my transmission line is. Red and orange LED strip time. If I had my RGB LEDs up right now, I'd be going red, even without cal. We'll see if there's a difference. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, I'm going to just use my existing calibration. I want to see if we get proper results now. So, calibrate. I need a load. I've got to remember which one it was. Pretty sure it was this one. Okay, so I've got some calibration data loaded. Oh, lots of at me. Bye friends, homework needs to be done. Oh, see ya. Finally ordered my own The Art of Electronics edition book, the Bible. I've always wanted to own that book, but I know that I'll own it and stick it on my shelf, and I'd never read it. It's just one of those things. Wow. I did warn you all today that the stream's going to be a problem stream as soon as OBS died. Hey Ben, good morning. Okay, so let's go. I'm just going to... So this is the one with the matching network, with the 0 ohm resistor. So this is the one that gave weird results last time because of the ground plane, I think. Hey MR, can you stop posting that message about WhatsApp? You posted it, I think, 3 times now. Please don't. There is no WhatsApp group that I know of. Please stop posting it. Thank you. You've asked already 3 times. I don't use WhatsApp, so yeah. I really want to get the Art of Electronics book. I really do, but I just, yeah, it'll sit on my shelf with everything else. That's the thing, Ian. Yeah, I just go to the internet and Google it and find what I need pretty quickly. Adjustable coax, so you can calibrate at any length. Adjustable coax. You can get adjustable coax. What I need to do is just get my own coax, right? And my own SMA connectors and just make my own cables. But I don't want to then have to go out and buy another crimper as well. The Art of War. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to... let's do a scan. Scanning now. Can't put this off anymore. Whoa. So that's not much better than we saw last time. At all. Not really what I expected. Interesting. Yeah, that's about as bad as we saw last time. Hey, Capo Steve, morning. Someone is selling a real pick and place machine on eBay. Looks worse. Well, it's hard to... Yeah. Maybe I need to recalibrate, but... Where's my Tiny Pico board? Let me get a Tiny Pico. I'm just going to plug a Tiny Pico in. Okay, Tiny Pico. Scan just to make sure that I don't have any other issues on the line. I'm assuming it's just SMA. Yeah, so here we go. So this is what I'm seeing for the Tiny Pico. Every time I resize the window, it loses the drawing. That's really annoying. Try that again. So as you can see here, that's pretty much exactly what I'd expect from the Tiny Pico. Turn the blue line off. Yeah, so that's tuned pretty much at 2.54. Wow, okay, so I'm going to plug the other ProS2 in, the one that doesn't have the matching network, and see what I get from that. definitely something weird going on. I don't understand why I'm getting... the pigtail connector is RP SMA. It has a hole instead of a pin. So no connection. Oh, no, it's got a... This has got a pin. Yeah, and it's soldered correctly. Double, triple check that already. Okay, I'm just scanning. This is the version that doesn't have the matching network. So look at that. That's without the matching network. That's much closer to what I was expecting to see. And that's 2.54. No, 2. 2.45 is... Sorry, 2.4. Okay, 2.45 is right here. So that is what I expected to see without the matching network. Sorry, or with the matching network board as well. So playing around the tiny pico and LED matrix, accidentally overwrote the firmware on my YouTube counter. Now I can't find the code. Ouch. See you later, MR. Thanks for joining. Have a good sleep. So this is what I expected to see. So why am I getting that with no... That's actually really good, I gotta say. Let's have a look at the Smith chart, shall we? So this is from the Smith chart. Can everyone see that? I don't know, it's really... The lines are very thin. I don't know how visible that is for you guys. I love owning books, Greg. Like I'd want to own it just because of owning the book, but I'd still go to the internet first, I think. So can everyone can you see that? This is the point here, number one. Why is that scan range gone so small? Let me just, I'm going to open the scan up and rescan. Must have hit it, maybe I hit a key, single scan. Okay. So yeah, so this is, as you can see, nowhere near as nice as the Tiny Pico, right? Because it's a different type of antenna. It's a much broader antenna, and so you're not going to get such a tight band. And I was already expecting not getting a tight band, but that looks, I mean, that's, so without a matching network, that's fairly close. Well, not really. That's 4.0 to 1. So not really close at all. So could I get away with this? Not really. But the problem is I can't tune this, as I said, without a matching network. I can't tune this back into the center. What are we doing here? We're doing a reflection test with a vector network analyzer on my ProS2 to work out how to tune it. Broadband antenna based on fractals. Right. So like I expected to see something like this. Maybe not quite as, I mean, yeah. So the question is, why am I getting rubbish on the other one? That is the question. Let me just have a quick look under my microscope and make sure that it's still actually attached properly. I'll just give you a bit of a look what I'm doing. It's not going to be overly exciting. Sorry. But might just DMM it, beep it out, make sure that everything's connected properly. Maybe I wrecked it. It's possible. So if you can't hear me as well right now with the, move the microphone a bit closer, maybe. Like maybe this is just not attached. It's quite possible. Might have knocked it. Yeah, I think I've knocked this off. That could be why. That'd be good if that's all it is. Yeah. So it looks like the tip of the antenna, that the center is not. I must have bent it a little bit, so I need to resolder it. If that's all it is, that'll be very exciting. What is the vertical axis on the other one? Is it all just open circuit at very expanded scale? It was a much shorter scale on the left hand. Yeah, just hold on one second. Let me fix this because I'm pretty sure I found the problem. Oh, it's going to be a pain to fix, I think. Possibly a pain. I need something broader. These ones. Okay, bear with me a second, folks. I need to do some surgery. Without ripping it off. If I can, come on. I don't know if I got it then. Sorry, I'll go back to questions in a second. I want to fix this first. Nope. Wow. What's going on here? Sorry. I'm not quite sure why. Unless this cable's faulty. Could you imagine if this cable is faulty and that the issue wasn't the ground plane the other day, but it was this cable? How crazy would that be? That would be absolutely crazy. I need to get some more solder. Okay, now I've got to hope I didn't bridge it. I might have bridged it. What I missed? Hey Griffin. So if someone asks, but what microscope is that? I need a new one. This is a, I can't remember the brand. Obviously from China. A Physcope. Physcope microscope. And it's one of the, what's it called? It's a simul focus. So there's like, trinocular doesn't mean necessarily that you can see two eyes and the camera at the same time. From this company anyway, you need to get what's called a simul focus. So I can run the camera and two eyes at the same time, but the camera that I got with it's pretty crap. And I've been meaning to replace it and I haven't. So I'm about to just beep this now. Got it. Make sure it's not touching the power. Okay, I fixed it. Yay! So, we should get results now. That was basically acting like an open at that before. So, I must have, changed my camera. Sorry. Move that. Sorry, I'm just rearranging my desk now. Yes, fingers crossed. Let's hope this one. Because the other one I can't tune, but this one I can. Okay, so that's now connected. Dun dun dun, fingers crossed. I'm just going to go back to whatever the lowest values I can go here. What's it going to let me do? One. There should be a reset. A reset would be really handy in this field over here. Okay, single scan. Here we go. Okay, what did I miss? Oi, oi, Mr. Watts is here. Who's this scientist with a microscope walking back from football? Cool. Walk carefully. Look at that! Dun dun dun! Look at that! Look at that! That's my ProS2. That's what I expected to see. I'm pointing at the thing, but you can't see what I'm pointing at. Oh, wow! I thought I was losing my mind. That's what I expected to see. Now this is obviously not tuned. That's at 2.7. Whew. Wow. Wow, folks. Finally, I finally get a win. Victory! Okay, now let's, sorry, I don't know why I switched camera then. Let's, yeah, so obviously we're not, so can everyone see that little one moving around? It's, I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see. It's right here, and as I scroll my mouse, it moves around, right? Found a box in my office, it was Sion's mind. We'll return it later, thank you. So as you can see right now, that's sitting at 2.7, which is not great. Not where we want it, but that's a 2.7 with a 2.21, a 2.2 to 1 SWR. A short stream with no screw up. Yeah, Smith chart. You want to see the Smith chart? Here we go. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. That's pretty good. Actually, what I want to do is, I got to remember the keys. I want to add 2 more markers. Okay, that's marker, oops. Marker 2, I need to move that to the -3 decibel range. About there. And now I need marker 3. Or 4. I don't care which one. Come on. Can't remember how to do my other marker. No, not that key. Why can't I add more markers? Come on. It's a weird combination of keys. Anyway. Go something with whatever you did. Hey, Jerry. Looks very tunable. It does look very tunable, but I wanted to, why can't I? So shift does the second marker, normal click does the first marker, and then there's a shift, it's supposed to be shift control, or shift command, or just command, or on the Mac it's weird, it doesn't let me do sometimes the second marker, or the third mark. Anyway, I wanted to get markers on each side of it. So you can see here's 1 and here's 2. 3 would probably be sitting about over here. Set line drops and rises is a good result. Yes. So what I wanted to see is this is a reflection line. So what we should see is a peak, right? Roughly in tune with where what we want is a peak that's in tune with where our antenna is rated for, which is 2.45 gigahertz, right? And so this is what I expected to see the other week, was like this, but in the wrong position. G'day, Scott. Hello, Graham. Call the stream, pull the plug, and end it on a win. No, we've got a bit more we can do still, I think. It doesn't have to be a steady line. That's okay. It just needs to be this shape, right? So then what we need to do now is take this value into a Smith chart, into a Smith chart software, into SimSmith, and work out how to move that 1 to the center. And that will then tell me roughly what I need to put on the board to tune it. So why don't we do that? Yeah? Why don't we, here's our SimSmith software. This might be a bit awkward on the screen at the same time. See what I can do. I'm just going to turn that off. So, the two values I need are, I need R and X. I've got to remember. So it's X is negative. Why is this interesting? So it's 2.45 megahertz, or K, so gigahertz we want, and roughly 50 impedance. And so what I need to put here is, why am I not seeing my R and my X? What have I done here? Is there a reset? Okay, well, this will be interesting. So I can't remember which one I need to put in each one, which is annoying. Pretty sure it's RS and XS, I think. So 92.8, I could be wrong, but we're about to find out. And negative 34.3. Okay, yep, there we go. Reflection bridge or measuring SWR. I'm using a miniVNA. So here it is here, connected by SMA. Hey Chris, so if you have a look here, just next to each other, if you look at the two charts, I've now got this point here in the same place that my number 1 is. Can everyone see that? Yay! So now, shut that down. See, I'm doing nuclear experiments, absolutely. So now what I can do is, we can add matching network components here. We need to bring this back to the center, right? So I'm using a pi shape. So I'm going to build a pi. I'm going to start off with the first component of a pi, so I don't know whether again I can't remember what quadrant is what, but it's either going to be a cap or an inductor. So let's see what happens. So if I stick a cap in, okay, so the chart goes this way, which is kind of backwards, right? But you can see the arrows pointing. So this direction here is not the direction I want to go first. So I don't want a cap. What I want is an inductor. Probably don't want an inductor either. Maybe I don't need. So this is just experimentation now. No, it's going to go backwards, other direction. This is for me this is just playing. I guess you're demonstrating what should be done. Since you can't use this result because of the wrong calibration, the point of the Smith chart is probably rotated. Oh, for sure, Dren. This is I'm not matching my board today. I'm just moving data from one to the other and then having a play around with getting this roughly in the center position. So that's all. Yeah, this is not a match. This is not a real matching exercise. This is a learning how to use all this, because I'm not an RF guy. For those that don't realize, I'm not an RF guy. I'm going to have to start with an inductor. And then what I do is I can drop the value, as you can see, and get it. So I want to get this to the center point, directly in the center, if that makes sense. Cap's going to go the wrong direction. Yep. And that's also going to go the wrong direction. And that's going to cancel itself. Interesting. So the idea is to get there in the least roundabout way possible. But I might have to go all RF guys start like this, but like an idiot, don't know what they're doing. It's quite possible. So like, oh, why is it? Yeah, it's gone small now. Sorry, but you see this here. So what I've basically got now is so these two components. Wish I could make this bigger. Here we go. Let's move it over to the side. So these two components, right, an inductor and then a cap, are bringing my result pretty much directly to the center. No, inductors and capacitors. Paul? Hey, Paul. Just move the value up until you intercept the circle. Yep. So, as I said, at one point, I knew which quadrant, because one of them is one's capacitance, one's inductance, one's reverse capacitance, one's reverse inductance. Does that make sense? Bit more inductance. Yeah, I'm pretty far away from what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, but this is just an example to show. Oddly reminiscent of the boundaries on a Penrose tessellation. I don't know what that is. Hey, Gabinary. So look at that. So that's technically an SWR of 1.009, which is really unachievable. But what that means is, and again, my calibration's off, right? Quick, somebody automate this. I think people have been trying to do this for a long time. I mean, this Smith software is amazing, really amazing. So, assuming that my calibration was correct, which we know it's not, right? Then, if I was to stick a 4 point, or as close as I can get in terms of value, a 4.78 nanohenry inductor, and then a 1.236 picofarad capacitor on my matching network, and then rescan it, I should get close to 0 or close to 1-to-1 on my scan. I should be back at 2.45 gigahertz. It's easier if you build the circuit the other way, putting the component that doesn't closest to the antenna first, then building towards the generator. Sure. Still learning. I haven't spent a lot of time in this software because it's all just been arbitrary stuff. I know I have it close now, but this is uncalibrated, remember? Like my calibration. So this is all based on calibration that happened on a feed line that was this long, but doing my tests on a feed line that's this long, right? So my data's out. Like there's, if I was to stick those components on this board right now, would my board be better than what it is? Absolutely. Would it be where I need it to be? Not really. To get an SWR of 1, a secret government agency appears on your front door. I don't think anyone gets one. I don't know. If I can get anywhere, but if I can get as close as 2-to-1, I'd be quite happy with this. Considering the fact that it's a broader range antenna, right? So I'm not expecting to ever get it as precise as the Tiny Pico. That's actually, I'm quite surprised, and quite pleased. So now I know that the ground plane was my issue. Possibly. Either that or maybe my cable wasn't on. No, I checked my cable last time. I beeped it out. Yeah, so the ground plane was the issue for sure. That's all fixed now. And it shows me that I do need a matching network, that I can't get away with no network, unfortunately, which is a shame. It's less components. Well, let me rephrase that. I could get away with no matching network if I was happy to ship the boards with not as good Wi-Fi as I'd like, right? So, which obviously is not something I really want to do. The days of designing and building CB antennas and fiddling with the SW meter. See, I never did that, Ian. I was never into the radios and stuff. Hello, Jeff. Hi, have you tried using the VNA in an anechoic chamber, e.g. an old microwave oven? I have not. I don't. So it's interesting. Like, one of the reasons I didn't want to originally get a VNA was because, and do any of this myself, was because I kept saying to myself, this whole environment's not set up for it, right? Like, I don't have any shielding chambers. Like, I've got RF and noise everywhere. But like people said to me, like quite a few people said to me that it doesn't matter. Like, what I'm doing is I'm testing and calibrating it in a kind of a real world environment. So I mean, there's, at the end of the day, if it's going to be used in an environment like this, then doing it in an environment like this isn't that terrible an idea. Why don't you need 3 components for a Pi? Because you don't necessarily need to populate all 3, whether it's a T or a Pi. It's you have the and it doesn't. I mean, technically, you could use more than 3 components if you wanted to, but they're the standards. You dip your toe in seal and you got to go the whole way. What do you mean? Got a phone call. Matt's obviously forgotten that I'm streaming. That's funny. That was Matt Trentini. Am I going to solder some components? No, I'm not going to, because I don't even know if I've got those values components, but those components are not, like, this matching isn't, like, there's no point matching this board with, unless I've got my calibration done right. Does that make sense? Like, my feed lines are wrong. So soldering anything onto these boards is just going to be a waste of components. So what I need, 1.23 picofarad. I can't even remember what I got, and a 4.7 nanohenry. I don't even know if I got values that are close to that, to be honest with you. 1.2. I've got a 1.2. I've got a 1.2 picofarad. I have. Battery's running out. Bye, Adam. Catch you later. So what inductors did I get? Hang on a second. Gotta remember. So the inductors, like, I might not even got the right range. What do I need? I need a 4.78. Yeah, so I don't have a 4.78. I've got a 3.5 and a 5.8. So I couldn't match this exactly anyway. So if I go 3.5, let's go back to here. So if this inductor was 3.5, then I'd end up with, something over there, which is kind of almost the opposite to what I want, right? And if it was, what was another one I got? 5.8. Well, that gets me a little bit closer, but still not to the center. So, can use a resistor instead of an inductor. No, I don't think so. Can I? I wouldn't know what, I mean, I wouldn't know what value to put in. But yeah, it'd be total guesswork trying to work out what it would be. Yeah, so interestingly, I wonder if you can actually get, so I was at 4.7. 4.836. So can we even get a 4.836? Scheduled to run when the ESP located somewhere in the house. Okay, Ben says no, you can't. There you go, you can't. Let me find what I'm looking for. So let's see if we can find an inductor. What do we need? A 4.8 nanohenry. 0402 4.8 nanohenry. Let's see if there is one. Murata, and there's 5 in stock. I'm not necessarily going to buy one right now. So 4.8 nanohenry plus 2%. $0.05 each US. Well, actually, on a real, still 4.5 cents each. Wow. Not cheap, but there you go. So technically, if this was the right values I needed, I could go and grab 5 of these, because that's all they've got. But or I could get them from somewhere else. Can you show what a third component does on the Smith chart? Buy one and use a courier. Yeah, okay, and it'll ship to me in a massive box. Well, it depends what the third component is, but in the case of a Pi, I could either put a cap or an inductor. It's going to so if I put, just to show you, if I put a cap here, it's just going to continue on in that direction. Or if I put an inductor here, so what they basically do is depending on which quadrant or which way it's going, it's either going to rotate this way or that way or that way, right? It's like 4 legs, if that makes sense, right? So it's all about the direction and then the length, which is the value. Let's just move weirdly on a Smith chart. Introduces losses, which you don't really want. Yeah, 4.7 exists, 4.8, but I want 4.836. If I could drop it somewhere between 4.8, like 4.7 is already getting too far out. I'm now 1.037. If I get it closer to 4.83, I'm back at 1.008 in this case. I built a unit which is interfaced to a sports timer to get the run times, sends a real time to my web server. Cool. Now try with 3 components with 3 values you have. Why though? Like, can you tune the cap after using 4.8 though? Hey, Electron Ash. Well, not really, because it's going to go in the wrong direction. So if I go to 4.7, what did I say? I don't have a 4.7. What did I say I have? I don't have anything close to this range. I've got a 3.8 and a 5.4, so nothing close to the range, right? But if I put a 4.7 there, which is taking me further to the left, then tuning this inductor won't do anything for me. Tuning this inductor will bring this blue dot higher or lower, not left or right. Does that make sense? Sorry, I meant the cap. Tuning the cap makes it go up and down. See? So because everything's going in a curve. And what you want to do on a Pi, on a matching network, is use the get there in the quickest route, right? So the route that I had before was like about as quick as it's going to get. But as soon as I add a third one, my distance to get there increases, which means the performance decreases. If that makes sense. So like trying to solve it in 3 won't necessarily give me any better results. It'll potentially give me worse results. But see already, so I've got a 1.2 picofarad cap. I've got those in stock. But as soon as I go, like it's 1.236, as soon as I go to get it down to 1.2, look, I'm much further out. So it's a matter of finding a value that's as close as possible. So I want a 1.236. What have I got here? Remember, the sample book I got was just a range of values. With 3, you'd get better bandwidth. Why would I get better bandwidth with 3? Yes, I'm assuming that my electron ash, that my feed line is matched as close as possible to 50 ohms. Why would I get better bandwidth, Ben, if I'm using 3 instead of 2? Okay, I got a 1.3. So yeah, I got a 1.2 and a 1.3 here. So, and what I need is a 1.236, which again, I don't even know if you can get values that are so precise. 1.2, well, let's just look at 0402 capacitor. Let's see what values we can get. I'm just curious. As long as no resistor used, the cap induction do not lose energy. You should get better Q factor, which determines the bandwidth of the matching network. Okay, so I don't know what a Q factor is, Ben. Just saying, you know, because yeah, 1 point. Yeah, see, they don't go into, like here's 1.2. Whoops. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So I'm not going to get something more tuned than 1.2. So I'm not going to be able to do a 1.236 specifically. So, you know, if 1.2 is the best I'm going to be able to do. Oops, pico. Forgot the picofarad. Then it's a matter of, you know, again, as I said, like it's 1.037. If I can get this within 2 to 1, I'll be really happy. Q factor is usable bandwidth. Thanks, DefPom. Being hard on yourself, yeah. Right, below 1.5. If I can get it below 2 to 1, I'll be happy. Obviously I want to get as close as possible. I'm not being overly hard on myself, but yeah, like it's, you know. So if I went with what I had I don't have a 4.8. I can get a 4.8, but I've got a 4.7, right? So if I used a 1.2 and a 4.7, then I'd have an SWR of 1.053. Does SW let you input the capacitance of the output pin? No, I don't think so. Dual components used. For fixed value parts, you get only about a perfect match. Yeah, well, I don't have any trimmable, and I'm going to have to use final you know, fixed parts anyway. So I mean, I've got these parts. Do you really want me to try doing this? So that's my load. Do it. I've been told to do it. Well, the issue is going to be, can I do it and not pull the antenna line off? That's the question. Don't let your streams be streams or something. What's the time? Okay, well, 1 point. Oh, hang on. No, sorry, I lied. Sorry. I don't have the inductor. Sorry, I was looking up there. It's a 4.7 picofarad. I don't have an inductor close enough. Sorry. I know I suggest you solder the 50 ohm and the 0 ohm resistor for calibration instead. So wait, so here's the thing. Wait, let's talk about this. If you want me to calibrate on this board, focus. So the question is, right, if we're going to calibrate on this board, so sticking a 50, so right now, I'd have to take the antenna off, right? Let's assume I'm going to calibrate on this board, or calibrate on another board. So why don't I? So this is the one that's got no matching network. So I can take this feed line off here, and I can take my other one that has a matching network, and I can put the feed line on here. So I need to take the antenna off, and I need to do a version. The problem is I need to resolder these boards in between each time, right? Ideally what I'd do, which this is going to be a pain in the ass, and I'm going to risk knocking the antenna feed line off each time. But I'd have to put a 0 ohm here, which would be open without the antenna. Is that correct? That'd be open. Well, I've already got a 0 ohm. This already is a 0 ohm with the antenna there. I'd say do it on the contending prototype. What does that mean? Well, how do I do what? So this is what I'm asking. If I was going to calibrate off this board, how would I do that? That's what I'm asking you guys. Because I don't quite understand how I would. If I want to do the 50 pass, the 50 ohm pass, isn't that what I've got right now? 0 and 50? Like the antenna's 50. So for 0 ohm resistor and 50, isn't that my 50 ohm pass? Then how do I do my open? Don't I have to remove the antenna to do an open? And then how would I do my short? What am I shorting it to? To ground? Or to itself? I have questions. Questions, I need answers. Use port extension on... Hey Andrew, use port extension on miniVNA SW. I don't know what you mean by that, Andrew. Sorry. Remove the 0 ohm series you have and solder a new 50 ohm and 0 in the first shunt. For open, remove always. But if I stick a 50 where I've got now and leave the antenna on there, I'm confused. So I'm not trying to like be difficult. I'm totally confused. What does adding a 50 ohm resistor? So let me bring up Eagle. Hang on. Let me go to my other board. Dun, dun, dun. One moment. Right. So here it is. Yep. So right now I've got a 0 ohm resistor right here. Okay. To bridge it. Zero short line to ground, 50 ohm across the line to a ground, and nothing attached is open. Right, but nothing attached but with an antenna on there is not open, right? Like I'd have to, how could I ever do an open with an antenna attached? Unless you're talking about having nothing on this, nothing here, which means it's open just to this point. So this to ground. So if I put a 0 ohm here and nothing here, can everyone see what I'm talking about? If I put a 0 ohm there and nothing here, that should be a short, right? So on a laptop, in your Pi network, you have 2 shunts and 1 series. At the moment, you have a 0 series. Remove that. Then add 50 ohm and 0 to the first shunt. Right, to ground is open. So I'm just reading. If I remove this one, if I remove this, then I disable the antenna. I got that. But then you're suggesting putting a 50 ohm here. But I've already got a 50 ohm antenna here. Do the cal add VNA connector, then use port extension feature that accounts it. Oh, right, Andrew. Right, okay, so Andrew's saying, hold on, everyone hold your horses. I didn't know that you could do that. Hey, Rolves. I'm not building anything right now. I'm currently playing around with my VNA, with my ProS2 board to work out how to match it. But right now I need to work out how we're going to calibrate it. So Andrew says, do the cal add VNA connector, right, which I had, and then use port extension feature. So where's this port extension feature? Like, are you assuming that every VNA has a port extension feature, or you're talking about this particular software? You said VNA-J, so I'm assuming that you're meaning this software can do it, but I don't know where I set that up. Any idea where that port extension is? Sorry. Guys, just for the moment, I'm not looking at touching the network. Just hold on. So Andrew has said that there's maybe an option in my software that I can tell it what the cable length is. so it can compensate. But I don't know where that value is, where I set that. So I'm just waiting for Andrew, or port extension feature. Okay, time to Google. New miniVNA port extension. I am Googling. I'm Googling. Port extension. It mentions on page 27 of the user manual. Page 27. Okay, hang on. Page 27 of the user manual. Let's have a look. I don't have 27 pages of the user manual. This is the only user manual I got. Oh, right. You're talking about the software user manual? I don't have that. Did not come with it. Okay, hang on. VNA. Oh, 3.3.x. I'm on 3.1.9. I'm going to make you a mod so you can post the link. Be good, Electron Ash. What? Blues? You should be a mod now. Hang on, I'm just VNA J. Wow. So there's a much newer version than what I'm on right now. But how do I know it's compatible? Okay, user guide for the application. Just downloading the manual now, I hope. Okay, so this could be the manual. Thanks, Jim. I think I've got it. Wow, I don't have this manual. How funny is that? So what was it? Page 27. Where's the page numbers? Wow, that's a lot of pages. 27. Port extension. Okay. Well, here we go. Port extension. So velocity factor, I don't know what I do there. So how long is my cable? That's the question. You need to measure the cable length. This is cool. Learning something. Thank you, Andrew. Is this zeroed? It is, but it's on inches. That's a bit silly. So am I going from tip to tip, roughly? Let's call it 158. In meters. So 158 millimeters. Is that? Oh my god, I'm having a mental blank. Oh my god, what's 0.15 meters? Is that right? 0.15 meters is 15 centimeters? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So go okay. Velocity factor is not numeric. Ah. Velocity. Okay, I don't know what to put for the velocity factor. Jointnotes.com do TDR cable characterizing as different cables at different velocity factors. Well, these, I'm not using the cables that were supplied. Cables that were supplied won't work for me. Like they're SMA to SMA. I need to pick a value for the velocity. No idea. Like you go smack in the middle. If it says 0 to 1, I'm assuming it's a fraction. Wow. Anyone want to guess? Velocity factors. Hey, Danny. Okay, so I'm just reading. I didn't hear Crowley, no. I'm just going to use 0.8, 0.8. I'll have to go and... I got these from AliExpress. I'm pretty sure there will not be a velocity factor on its listing. In fact, I'm very sure. I'll try it with 0.8. Okay, so... let's go back. So that means I don't have to recalibrate. I can just rerun the test now with the current calibration data, right? That's what I'm assuming. I could be assuming wrong. 0.7 for semi-rigid online. Okay, I'm going to go back to 0.7. Oops. Make it 0.7. So it's off the side of the screen. Okay. So I should be able to just do a scan now. Okay, so here's my new scan. Which looks pretty, if you look where my markings are, it's pretty much exactly where it was before. Although, no, I'm on a different position on the chart now. So let's get this into SimSmith. When you do the port extension, you can quickly check it by briefly shorting the end of the cable inner to outer and see it is a point on the extreme left side of the Smith chart. When I do a scan, okay, where's my tweezers? So I can short it. I can try that. Let's have a, I'll scan it with, I'll short it and scan it like Andrew's saying to see that it works. I need my other hand. Which hand am I going to use? Okay. Let's see if I can... I don't know if this will short it. Okay, so that gave me a very different result. And put me all the way down here. So it's not extreme left. This one wasn't 280, I don't think. Maybe. It was like 650 Australian. I'm pretty sure it was like 400 and something US. This is still at 2.45, yeah. Anyway, let me go. Let me rescan without shorting it. Okay. So, Smith chart. It's interesting. So, SimSmith, doesn't the 0.1 need to be at 2.45 rather than at the bottom of what measured? It needs to be, yeah, it is a 2.45. Oh. .45. Yeah, I'm getting very different results now. There's still your other choices. Yeah, see, I'm getting... Did I take it off by accident? I'm going to scan again. I'm going to get rid of these markers. So I'm getting a very... With this... Why can't I place a marker now? Come on, software. Yeah, I'm getting very different results now. Right, now let me place a marker. Yeah. So I'm not even close now to the 2 point... Like I was much closer to 2.54 before. 2.45 before. Like that's where it should be. Like I'm way out with this compensation. Issue velocity can measure on several meters length. Yeah. So as a simulation point of view, it's really not... I don't know. Like, yeah, I need to get proper length cables. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and buy myself some decent cables. I've been trying to avoid it because they're really expensive. So I've been buying from China. The cables seem fine, but they just take a really long time to get here. So, like, I'm not sure I trust these results right now as being any better or more accurate. Just simply by looking at the results I'm seeing on the Smith chart. One was on the bottom of the scale last time, 2 rather than 2.45. Should I replot with 0.66 VF? I can. Oops, off screen. 0.66. I just don't know that I'm... Yeah. Like, this is also a much older version of the software, it seems. So maybe I need to go and grab... OSX. An update firmware. Wow, I can't update the firmware on the my miniVNA unless I'm using Windows. Problem with them with the serial library on Mac machines on a protocol which is required. So I'm just want to grab the latest version. All files with the current version can be downloaded here. Why do they make it so hard to find the files? Do I know the exact cable type and manufacturer? No, it's from AliExpress. No, that's a negative. Hang on. Let's see if there's anything on the listing, but very unlikely. As I said, I need to get myself some better cables from a known supplier, but they're really expensive. So I kind of been putting off doing that. Okay. So here's the link to what I got. Let's see what it says. Okay. Yeah. See, type RF coaxial cable. RG405. Insulation, PTFE, silver plated copper. Okay, all I haven't. Oh no, Sylvia's ill. Catch a ball. I hope she gets better. I know I'm being too much, but you could avoid the dependency on the cable if you calibrate at the network. Yeah, I know I can. I know I can, and I probably will. But I was looking for a way to maybe, like, if this was going to help a bit, Dren, and I didn't have to sit and butcher the board a few times underneath the microscope and recalibrate. Because you've got to remember, I can only do one calibrate step at a time, take the board back, re-hot air it, change it each time, right? So I was trying to avoid having to do that. Solid PTFE is 0.695. Yeah, 0.695. It's not much of a difference though. 0.695. Try again. 95. 0.695. If I could access a virtual script work. There's a lot of information on the express listing. You think so? I don't know. So this stuff around here just doesn't look right to me. I don't know. Doesn't look like a very clean scan. Like if I was to clear this out of curiosity, well, I can't do 0.695. It's not letting me do that exact. Replace my guy in China with Helmet. I don't think Helmet wants to do my RF matching. So if I just clear that, just turn it off again and just see if it goes back to what it was. No, see, look at even the scan now is so I mean, see how I'm getting a proper circles now, but my scan is now. I might have done something when I. What have I done? Because I'm getting different results to what I had before. Just look under here. It's kind of weird. Like I'm seeing. Maybe I need to reload my calibration. Let me just reload it. Okay, let's try again. This RF stuff's not easy, especially when I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, there's some smart folks on this channel, for sure. That's the only reason I'm even prepared to to do this on stream. Because I really, like, I'm not an RF guy at all. So I'm definitely getting different results than what I was getting before. Like, that's where I am now. This is a totally different result than what I was getting before. Remove the series 0 you have to disconnect the antenna. 2. Calibrate for open with no components on the network. 3. Solder 50 ohm in the first shunt. First component from the ESP and calibrate for load. Calibrate for short. Okay. What's the time? 9:17. Okay. Guys, I'm going to take a toilet break and then I might hot air this board. Okay? I'm just going to mute. Let's do a quick toilet break, shall we? Back soon. Okay. I'm back. I don't know if you all are. I find bedtime because it's interesting, although it goes ways above my head. Also, I want you to have some sleep, though. Remember to remove the cable compensation when you perform the real one. Yeah, that's already gone. I turned that off already. You can see here it's crossed out. Or maybe you can see there it's crossed out. Found a link that said 5 for the cable, so I assumed it was percentage, just without the sign. Okay, I don't know if my stream's going to last, by the way. Just letting you know. As in OBS. Red nukes people's minds. Hello. Yes, I'm just doing some playing around with the VNA and some RF testing / maybe matching. Okay, so I am just getting ready to do this. Just hold on. Okay, so ooh, Andrew got teensy 4s, yay. So step number 1. Okay, so to do a calibration, I need to follow their order. So their order is do an open first, then a short, then a load. Okay, so the open is get rid of the current 0 ohm resistor. Let's do that. So you might, yeah, I'll change my cameras so you can kind of see what I'm doing, maybe. Might not be overly exciting. Now I've got to hopefully not knock the antenna feed line off while I'm doing this. That is the hope. So I'm going to start with the open. Okay, I'm going to take the resistor off. It's an awkward position. Okay. I'm going to have to let it cool down though in between. So I'm sticking on a on my heatsink. Need something to raise it. Pen. Okay. Snail's pace little. Kept on. Nah, no kept on. Go hard or go home. So while that's cooling down, I need to find these 50 ohm resistors in this bag. There's quite a lot of things in here. Lots of ferrite beads. Ferrite bead, 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 ferrite bead. Where's my 50 ohm resistors? No way! Beads, 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 beads. They didn't ship me my 50 ohm resistors. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. It's not Woodstock. They didn't ship me my resistors. No resistors. Oh, oh my. I do not have any 50 ohm 0402 resistors. If I did, I wouldn't have ordered them. I do not have anything close to 50 ohm resistor. Oh my. I wasn't even there, no, but I'm pretty sure it's not Woodstock. I do not have 100 ohm 0402. I'm pretty sure I don't. The closest I've got is either 100 ohm 0603s or a 47 ohm 0603. I'm not going to be able to mount an 0603 on here. Yeah, I don't have no 402s. I've never needed no 402 100 ohm resistor. So it's not a common value. Like I've got stacks of 0402 components, but only stuff I need. Yeah, I need something 50 ohms exactly. Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't think I can fit 0603s on here. I can try and put them on top of each other. I don't understand why my 50 ohms were not in that order. I'm going to have to contact them and find out. 2 times 10k or 200 times 10k. Ha ha. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. I could try to stick two 0603s on top of each other, but I don't think that's going to work. Also, don't know what percentage these are. They're from a sample book, right? So they're probably going to be terrible. They're going to be really crap. Well, that ends that. In the software manual, did it say you had to use a port extension? I didn't even know that there was such thing as a port extension. You could do 75R and 180R and get vending machines that dispense just like a... Yeah. Look, I mean, I can order from RS Components and have them here by tomorrow, but not today. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Oh well. It is what it is. Dick Smith. Pretty sure Dick Smith and Electronics, or there's no more Dick Smith and J-Car. I'm pretty sure none of them will have 0402 50 ohm resistors in stock. Or any 0402s at all. And nothing I can get now, right? Not for the stream. Just gonna have to wait till next week again. Oh, I can't believe it. Take CareCon through whole parts. Ill inductances are very significant. Oh, take care on. Yeah, no, I wouldn't get through whole parts. Oh, there wasn't very much about antenna design on this stream. There was a lot of... Anyway. I've done other streams where I go through my antenna layouts and stuff, but yeah. Ethernet boards always have 50 ohm resistors. Hello, George of the Jungle. Well, I don't have any Ethernet boards here. I need to find a board that has 50 ohms that's 0402, and the problem is that 0402, they're not labelled. So because they're not labelled, they are very hard to work out without going through every single resistor on a board and with the multimeter and trying to go through them all. I don't have any Ethernet stuff here. Have I missed anything? Ah, David, you missed everything. Nah, I don't know. What could possibly have a 50 ohm resistor on it? So the only thing that I've got that might have a 50 ohm resistor on it, unlikely, or it won't be 0402, it'll probably be 0201, would be a Pi 0W. I'd be prepared to pull one off a Pi 0W if I can find one, but I'm pretty sure. Wow, this is a really nicely laid out board, I gotta say. Very neatly soldered. I'd have to go through every single one of these and try to work out what it is. Like, this is going to be impossible. David scored 4 goals! Holy moly. Okay, that's a 33 ohm. I can't believe I'm really considering taking a resistor off. It's 100 ohm. Taking a resistor off of Pi 0W. No. No. I'm probing out every... Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm probing out every resistor that I can find on here that's 0402. $10K. $37 ohm. That's weird value. $15 ohm. So I can't see the chat right now. I'm running out of 0402s to test. There's quite a few 0201s, but that's not going to help me either. 3K. Chance of me finding a 50 ohm is pretty... Ooh. Yeah, nah. No, no go. Nothing on the back. Do you have a non-Pi 0 to be around the Ethernet port? I might have an old Pi. Hang on. Okay. So I have a... This is a Pi 3 Model B. But it's not mine. It's Alan's. I don't know if Alan's watching right now. So yeah. Like, I feel really bad. I feel really bad pulling this apart. Found 100 ohm. 220. I don't know whereabouts a 50 would be. Lots of very small value ones though. 6 ohms. Why would there be 6 ohm resistors on here? Lots of them. 6.2 ohms. Yeah, I haven't found any 50 ohms here right now. Looking. 56 and a knife. Used to love movies as a kid, don't understand them. Watched it again recently, still don't understand it. What movie? Young Einstein. I've looked through all the resistors coming from this controller from the LAN 9514 to the Ethernet port, and no, I can't find any 50 ohm resistors. You sure there'd be 50s? I've not found one anywhere. Checked about 15 resistors. Whoops, slipped off that one. How can that be a 0.5 ohm resistor? 0.5 ohms? Really? You sure there's supposed to be 50s on this? I can't find any 50s. Nothing near the Ethernet. Nothing going to the Ethernet. You know, well, nothing in 0402 anyway that I can find on here. Lots of very small values though. 49R9, close to the RJ45. No, I can't. On a Model B? Oh, this is on the bottom. Maybe on the bottom? No. What numbers did you say? R what? 49? Oh, 49R9. Yeah, look, I can't... What model are you talking about? Model B, just 3 Model B. It's R48. I can't see an R49, or have I misunderstood? There's only one resistor next to the Ethernet. Which is R36, which is not... which is 5.9 ohms. And then there's R39, 34, 35, 32, 33, all going to the Ethernet from the controller, and R46, but they're all, none of them are 50s. Definitely some weird values, unless my meter's just reading wrong. Like lots of 6 ohm, 6.2 ohm resistors. Yep, no. Well, this is a 3B, not a 3B plus, but yeah, I don't have those. I can't find any. Yeah, so, okay. That ends that for now. So I'm going to have to get some from RS, maybe, if I want them quickly. I'm not going to go. I'll have to find out what happened with LCSC. I'll ping them today and find out once they're up and awake, about 11 o'clock. But in the meantime, what can I get from RS? RS is not the cheapest, but I can get free shipping. So free shipping is always good. 0402 50 ohm. Whoa! $7.09. What? It's got to be in a packet, right? It's not each. What? $2 each on tape. Holy shitballs. Why are they so expensive? Precision resistors are priced. No. And they're on back order anyway, till April 2020. That's probably why they're so expensive. So they don't even have stock anyway. Oh, I just got an order from Arrow. I could have got them from Arrow the other day. Doggo. DigiKey. What? It doesn't understand 50 ohm. Okay. We have element 14, not Farnell. So it's close enough. Same, but different. Actually, you know where I might be able to get today? Rockby. So there's a company here called Rockby. Terrible website. Really terrible website. But they might have something. Got to remember how to use their website. It's really, really not good. Wide search, 50 ohm. Ugh. Okay, full page index. Resistors. Hate finding stuff on their website. Resistor SMD 0402 5%. Right, they've got nothing in stock. $50 ohms and maximum 50 ohms. And it gives me 2K. That's all they've got. No, they've got no stock. DigiKey is going to take like 3 days to get to me. Wow, really annoying. DigiKey. Okay, what do we need? Resistance. Mega ohm? No. 50 ohm. And what do we want? Tolerance as low as possible, but start with that. 54. Again, Vishay. God. $2.60. Wow, I just can't believe how. So we want pretty low tolerance. So can I use 49.9? I thought I had to be exactly 50. Let's go back. So 49.9. I think so. No, I don't think I can get an 0603 on there, but I don't have 0603 50 ohm either. So yeah, these are still 20 cents each. Wow. Bag of 100. It's tolerance. What do I want? I want... Does it matter anymore if it's not exact? $0.13 each. Wow. So $13 for 100 resistors. You've got to be kidding me. I can get 10 for $2.75. Bet you there's no stock. Watch this. Oh, there is stock. Oh, in 5 working days. Yeah, forget it. Okay. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm gonna chase LCSC down, find out why they didn't ship them, get them to resend them, or something, or work something out. That's frustrating. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Try to only use foil or thick film. Exxon. Yeah, Exxon. Oh, firstly, I hate Exxon's website. Gotta say. It's actually If you go to mauser.com.au, it takes you to Exxon's website, which is really interesting. I don't know if Mauser know that they did that. Yeah, Exxon are a company in Queensland, I think. 0402 50 ohm. Terrible website, really hard to use, very slow. Apparently really nice people. Yeah, Mals are okay, but I gotta pay for shipping unless it's a high enough value. Why do I want thick film and not thin film resistors, out of curiosity? $7.43, 50 ohms. But these are RF quality. That's why. Can I get away with not RF quality? Noise. Thick film, SMD, 50 ohm, 5%. Yeah. If we go thin film, oh God, this website is terrible. Yeah, so I was going to go Core Electronics. Oh, really? Do I don't want to open that link, do I? Look at this. I can't even... I click on tolerance 0.1% and I get a spinning beach ball. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's all a week away. There's Yagos. And they show you from 0.085. I don't know if you can read that. But that's at the maximum quantity. So when you actually go to look at the part, right, then they give you a price. And it's normally 10 times that price. Picking, handling, delivery charges, and AUD. So it's $15 for shipping. If I want, I don't know, 50 of them. Right, so at 50 of them, it's $1.18 each, all of a sudden. Wow, so $80 is going to cost me. 26 turn pot. You will hack. What am I hacking? Okay, I'm going to, yeah, this is, wow. It's one of those days, one of those things, folks. You have better luck going for 100 ohm, 0402, and then parallel. But I don't have any place to parallel them other than trying to mount them on top of each other, right? Which is going to be really tricky. Yeah. Anyway, folks, I think this needs to draw to a close. I need to go get another coffee, or maybe go to sleep, or go for a walk, or something. Put some loud music on, get my red lights back up on my wall. I think that's what I need to do. Super frustrating. Thank you all for your help and advice. It's been really awesome. It's been very helpful. Yeah, look, I might look for some 49.9 with really low tolerance, so I can get something at like 0.5 or 0.1%. You can get 4 in an OLED board on eBay for $2 free shipping. Sure, but I won't have it for 3 weeks, George of the Jungle. So it's about getting them quickly. Hey James, what happened? What happened was you have to watch the stream. That's what happened. Good steps forward, bad steps. I wanted to show you some other stuff today. I was going to show you some Reflow Master Pro stuff, but nah, been going for too long now. 2.5 hours, it's time to call it, I think. So I'll save some stuff for next week. Yeah, maybe we'll do some more of this next week, and maybe we won't, I don't know. The good news is the ground plane issue is sorted, which means I don't have to worry about a board refactor now. The bad news is the ProS2, so the ESP32S2 chips are not going to be released when originally planned. So my there's no rush on this ProS2 board right now. Let's just put it that way. I have plenty of streams left that we can play with the VNA before I can even finalize the board. There you go. How does that work? Anyway, thank you. I don't know why I'm saluting, but I really appreciate joining. Don't forget to hit the like button, please. I generally only get about 30 or 40 likes and some dislikes on each of my streams, which is kind of weird when I've got over 100 concurrent people quite often. But anyway, the ProS2 is a future project. Yeah, I wish it wasn't. I'd really like to wrap it up. I'm quite excited about some things that I've done, but can't do anything with them until I've got some chips. I could, Paul, but that defeats the purpose of me getting the same matching. Like, I got to do it all at the same point on the board to get. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyway, what's Jay keep forgetting? I don't know. So I'm just reading the chat. Anyway, bye. I'm just rattling on now. I'm gonna go get a hot drink and turn some loud music on, and maybe dance around in my office for a bit. Cheers, everyone. It's been great, and hopefully the next one will be even greater. So I hope you have a fantastic week, and that you've done all your Christmas shopping. Catch you later. Bye.